Hey, lovelies. I wanted to hop on and just make a quick video ahead of my three-part conscious business planning workshop series, which kicks off tomorrow, Thursday, the 28th of November. Um, and just let you know what's involved. So basically, this is my annual workshop. I run it every year. It's one of the most important workshops I run. For me, starting a year with my business plan already created and thought through is just the most important way I can begin my year. If I don't have it sorted, as much as the temptation to kind of like wind down, it's, nearly Christmas. For some of you, it's going to be Thanksgiving. It's the holiday season. Um, it's uh it's tempting to just be like, oh, I don't want to think about it. I just want to get this year out of the way. But for me, if I just do that final push to kind of think about next year, and get this stuff done, I can start the new year just clear on what my priorities are. And if not, it's really easy to just start the year feeling already on the back foot. So every November, I run this workshop series. I do it for myself. I do my own plan, and I take people through the process. So just to give you a sense of what that process is, the first thing we do is we look back. We look at the year that we've just had in business, and we ask ourselves what worked, what didn't. What did we achieve? It's very easy, as humans, especially the kind of humans I work with who typically are coaches and interpersonal growth and transformation, we have a negative bias. We're much more inclined to remember what didn't work or what was not good or what we've yet to achieve in our businesses, and not take the adequate and necessary time to think about what we did achieve, what we did get done. So we do that. We do a thorough review of the year, looking at what worked, what didn't, what we might want to change, all of that stuff, really just pulling out the good stuff. We do it together, which is lovely. We share our answers with each other, which is lovely. So you get to like really connect with other people. Um, Usually there's a lot of validation in the struggle, which is, important because it can be a lonely business doing this whole entrepreneur thing. Then I kind of go through my strategic approach. So my kind of pet peeve about a typical approach to business planning, if people even take an approach to business planning, is, just pulling together a list of goals. So when I first kind of, became a business owner, and bear in mind, before I used to be a project and program manager, so planning is sort of in my blood. I was shocked by how many people would just like, set some goals, decide what you want to make in terms of money, and decide like what you'd love to create and just go for it. And I was just like, oh my goodness, after a few years of trying that, and being bitterly disappointed, usually by February or March, that I was already, severely behind schedule and no idea how I was going to achieve these kind of ambitious, lofty financial goals that I'd set myself. I realized that I needed to get more strategic about it. There just had to be another way. So that's the way I teach. I teach this kind of, we start with the big picture. What are we even trying to achieve? What is the whole point of our business? Bringing it in to strategic priorities, what lies underneath those, what goals lie underneath the priorities, and then how are we going to achieve those goals? What are we going to put in place to make sure those goals get met, and not just sit, on this kind of list of goals that we don't really, consider properly. So and then we pull that together into a plan. So by the end of the 3 sessions, which kicks off, as I say, this week, Thursday the 28th, and then there's 2 more sessions next week on Wednesday and Thursday. We get all of that done. We do the review, we do the plan, and we start 2025 with a true sense of what we're going to do and a clear plan. Now, one thing to say, because many of my people are resistant to the plan, the gold is in the planning. For me, the gold is in the planning. It's not about creating a plan and then being beholden to it, then, beating ourselves up when we don't achieve it. One of the things that I include in for people who register for this workshop is I send reminders every quarter to look back at the quarter, at how we did, and look forward to the future and adjust our plan. So the approach that I teach also is, we don't plan out the entire year. We plan the big picture and we plan quarter one. And then we plan quarter by quarter, because it's crazy to plan the detail for the entire year at the end of this year. It's impossible. And of course, life happens, things happen. The global world does its thing. And so things will change, but the approach that I teach kind of shows you how you can adapt and mold your plan to it, rather than just creating a plan or, pulling together a list of goals and then it sits dusty on a shelf, a digital shelf somewhere on your computer, and you never look at it again. So I wanted to just share with you also a couple of things that are included. So there's the teaching, it's 3 90-minute sessions. So it's, quite a lot of time together. And there's also resources that you take away with you. So I just want to share a couple of those. So for example, this is I call it my pretty planner. So this is the planner that I used to just sell the planner years ago. Just the planner itself was €30. So for €50, you get this planner plus other resources, plus the 3-part workshop. It's my most affordable workshop, because I do find that there is some resistance to the planning piece. And so I really want to encourage people to kind of go for it, because it's a lot less painful than you think it's going to be. And it just has you starting the year feeling so good. So this is included. This is for those of you that like to print things out and go and sit and journal in a cafe or something like that. Or take, I was talking to a former client yesterday who has booked herself into a hotel and is going to kind of work through her business plan, which I think is super cool. I don't know if my kids would allow me to do that, but we have my workshop series to do it in. So this has lots of the prompts and questions that we're going to go through together in the workshop, but here for you to kind of, journal on and, make notes on. It's fully editable. Once you download it to your computer, you can type it in or you can print it out and you can write in here. Typically what I do is I print it out and I kind of journal and write my ideas, and then I'll go through the, process more kind of formally, and I make sure it's captured in my spreadsheet version of this, which I'll share with you in a minute. So all space for figures and financial review and metrics for our platforms and all sorts of things. Quarterly reviews that you can just print these pages off and sit and journal once a quarter, all sorts of things. And then that's all of the review. Then we go into the planning section. How do I want to feel in my business? There's all sorts of stuff. Lots of space to type things in, and all of this stuff, all of the stuff that we go over in the workshop. But you have it here in this kind of like I say, pretty planner. And then there's a final section. I'm just going to keep scrolling through because it's a hefty document. There's 61 pages. There's a final section called the business blueprint. And this is a place to record things about your business that are, fundamental, that you might want to keep a record of, like your business vision, your ideal client profile, client details form, and such like. So that's also here if you want it or need it. So that is the pretty planner. Then we have the kind of spreadsheet planner, which I'm not going to go through all of these tabs, but I do want you to see this tab, which is my most important tab. I have this bookmarked in my top bar, my bookmark bar, my web browser, and I basically what I love about this is it's your year at a glance. It's everything that you're working on. So as I said, we start some of the where we'll get to in the business planning workshop together is, what's your overall objective? What's your overall financial goal for the year? What's your word for the year? What are your 3 strategic priorities? Which all of these things I explain, of course, in the training. What are your top goals underneath these? And then there's 4 rows for each quarter. So you can have a focus for the quarter, a monthly focus, and then smaller goals that are how we break down these big, what I call the big goals. What I love about this system is it limits you. I say no more than 3 strategic priorities. You don't even have to have 3. You could have 1. You could have 2. You don't even have to have 3, but no more than 3. No more than 3 big goals underneath each strategic priority. That's a total of 9 goals. No more. And I often strongly recommend not even taking, the maximum amount that this system allows you. And the idea is that you streamline and you are realistic about what you want to achieve. Because if you're anything like me, you're overambitious. You anticipate that you'll get more done in the year than you actually can get done. And so this kind of really keeps you grounded in, if a goal pops up that doesn't fall under one of your strategic priorities, guess what? You don't do it. Or you take something out and you put something else in. It really is designed to keep you focused on the priorities. And then final, like I said, I'm not going to go through all of these. I will in the workshop, obviously, but the other one that I really like to show people because I think it's really neat is this business, I call it the business model financial plan. So this is where we get to put across the top our various offerings that we have, how much we charge, what our target sign-up sales per month are, how many months of the year will we offer, and then what that does is it gives us our monthly goals. So for example, this one's already been done for you, one-to-one coaching. This is based on how I do it. So I do a monthly subscription. Let's say you charge 300, your target sales is 5, you offer it all year round. That's going to give you a monthly goal of 1,500. That will tell you immediately, you don't have to get the calculator, what that will mean a year. So again, this is my way of like breaking down what if you're like, I want to make 50K or I want to make 100K, it's like, well, how are you going to do it? What does that mean in terms of what you offer, how many sales you'll need to make, and then is that realistic? Can you do it? And you can track it here in terms of putting the actuals in this spreadsheet. So that's just 2 of the tabs of the spreadsheet that you get. So even just the spreadsheet and the planner for me, I think it's worth €50, if not more. And then on top of that, there's the 3 workshops. And then on top of that, there's also reminders throughout the year and a Facebook group where we hang out and can share our plans with each other. So there's a lot in this workshop. It's it's full. And for me, it gives you everything you need to kind of, have a workable strategic plan for your business for 2025. And I really hope you'll join us. So we start, as I say, tomorrow. It doesn't matter if you can't. I know a bad decision on my part. I've chosen to do it on Thanksgiving. So I know for many North Americans, that's not going to be possible. It doesn't matter if you can't make the live calls. You can get the recording, or if you can, if you're going to miss the first one, but you're not going to miss the second 2, you'll get the recording the same day as the workshop takes place. You'll be able to catch up and then join the other workshops. So if you've got any questions, let me know, and I hope to see you on the workshop.